This is Lucha Underground. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. Uh, yeah. Uh, and it's Halloween, so very excited for this video. Um, and so yeah, this is the uh my review of the pilot episode of Lucha Underground on the El Rey Network. I've been promoting the heck out of this on ringsidenews.com. I've been following the countdown from the El Rey Network and the Lucha Underground page on Facebook. And uh, man, there's so many good things about this show. I'll try not to make this too long, but they crammed so much awesomeness in 1 hour. That's right, folks. It's 1 hour. What? It's not a 3 hour Raw or a 2 hour Impact. No, it's only 1 hour. But let me tell you, there was probably more wrestling in this episode than some recent episodes of Raw. But don't get me started on that. But yeah, and I was so impressed with this pilot episode that I think I am going to do a weekly review of Lucha Underground. I know there's only so many episodes, and unfortunately, I know they're all they're not live. That's the only bad thing I see about this show is yes, it is very Hollywood produced. All the episodes were shot back in September and early October, I think. Don't quote me on that though, but I know most of them were already shot, if not all of them, for the season. So how many episodes there are, I don't know. I think there's a dozen of them. Don't quote me on that though. I'll have to check. But nonetheless, it's well done. This is done by Robert Rodriguez, and if you know Robert Rodriguez, who's done big films and stuff, this is his network, the El Rey Network. He wasn't going to put anything shoddy on here or anything weak. This looks very strong. If you just watch this for the wrestling and ignore the rest, you're still going to get a damn good show. There's 3 matches, and in between the matches, they did promos on not every single wrestler involved, but most of them. So those of you who are not familiar with, because if you're my age, you know who most of these guys are. I'll just run down the list. Well, I'm not familiar with the actor, whoever the guy that is playing Dario Cueto, um, the the boss of Lucha Underground, the owner, the ringmaster, whatever you want to call him, the guy with the money. Man, this guy, talk about your perfect full blown heel, snarky as hell, cocky, confident. Oh man, just like he reminds me a lot of and I cannot think of the guy's name. I was trying to think of it last night, and I should have looked it up before I did this video. And I'm kicking myself now. The famous movie line, Tony Montana. Come see my little friend, or however the line goes from Scarface, the guy from Scarface, the main character, Tony. That's who this guy reminds me of. Just listen here, you mother, you know, just totally him. It's great. Wonderful screen presence. And the guys commentating, calling the action um, in this very intimate setting. Um, it's not a big stage. There's not a ton of people there. Probably a few hundred people, but the acoustics are decent and it all sounds good. It's Matt Stryker and Vampiro. Matt Stryker, obviously, you know him from uh, commentating and doing backstage interviews and hosting first few seasons of NXT. Um, Great, absolutely great. This guy has not lost a step once. Um, it shows. It shows that they really WWE should have really kept him around. I mean, Matt Stryker is going to shine on this show totally, and just by this one episode, you can already tell. And Vampiro, former, I say former because I'm pretty sure he's retired. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he's done in the ring. Um, but this guy has a great history of wrestling. Uh, I haven't seen a lot of his lucha matches or Mexican matches. I'm more familiar with his time in WCW, and even though he really does not like that reference in his life, uh, says it was just a total waste. I mean, I liked what I saw of him in there. Like his feud with Sting and stuff like that was great. But and he's not as vocal as Matt Stryker is, but he does bring the lucha feel to the commentators. He's a great addition and a well-known name in the wrestling industry. A lot of respect. And oh my God, guess what they do? You are not going to believe this. They call the matches. What? Get out of here. They what? No. Yes, folks. They call the matches. They talk about the wrestlers. They don't bicker back and forth. They don't complain about what the other guy looks like. They don't talk about the other guy's mother. They call the matches. It was, for lack of better words, it was refreshing. Oh my God. Top to bottom, you know, gave history on the wrestlers, educated them, educated you on them. Um, and one of the best lines in the whole episode was Matt Stryker telling you, go to YouTube, educate yourself. There's so many different kinds of wrestling out there. Go educate yourself. And I've said that a few times on these videos saying, hey, I like so and so coming up soon. I like so and so from this, this show or that show or this company, that company. And you may not know a lot about them, but go to YouTube, go educate yourself in this guy. Trust me, that's a first, honestly, that I've heard anyone ever say that, and I think that's incredible. It really is. It shows the passion for the show. It really does. Um, so Dario Cueto comes out and he's got this money and he's talking about who's going to impress him. Whoever impresses him the most is going to get this $100,000. And at first, I thought it was weird, and then the more I thought about it, I thought it was really awesome because it's got that old school wrestling feel to it, in my opinion. Um, it reminded me of, I know I'm going to call it the wrong thing here, but I believe it was the first WrestleMania, and what was it? It was the first or second WrestleMania. I know I'm screwing this up, and I apologize because it's classic stuff, and I shouldn't. There was a, it was either the over the top rope battle royal, or was it the body slam match with Andre the Giant and Big John Studd? One of the two. I know Andre was in both of them, and I believe he won both of them. And I think they both involved money, but and that's what I'm talking about. That's the reference I'm referring to. Is that one of the matches was like $1,000 match, and the winner won the prize for the body guy who could body slam the other one, or the battle royal. They won $1,000. One of them, maybe it was both. I don't remember. I'd go back and watch it. I'll have to do that myself. But you know what I'm talking about. Had that old school wrestling feel. You don't see that anymore. But like someone just randomly comes out and like Vince McMahon saying, "Hey, there's a bonus tonight of $50,000. I'm gonna put it at the top of this ladder, and whoever gets to it first, or hang it above a ladder." Now you got the money in the bank and a contract on a pole, or pull up your ass match, or whatever. And it's just, I don't know. They need to shake it up. They need to do something different. Well, this gave it that old school feel. It was great to see that. So it made you wonder, oh, well, who's going to get the money then? Nonetheless, you're in for a good show. They had Blue Demon Jr., and I don't know a lot about that guy. I guess he's a former NWA champion, I think. More well known down in the Lucha companies. Chavo Guerrero Jr. If you know wrestling, you know him. Cousin of Eddie Guerrero. Um, Conan is he's a manager. He doesn't wrestle in this show. He manages Prince Puma, aka Ricochet. You may know Ricochet if you watch Dragon Gate USA or Evolve, those brands. Ricochet is their champ right now, I believe, or was their champ recently. He's on there. Incredible, high flying wrestler, absolutely fun to watch. Prince Puma wrestled Johnny Mundo, aka John Morrison, one of my favorite wrestlers. And love him or hate him, John Morrison, uh, veteran on the show, really showed that he still got it. He really does. He went toe to toe with this kid, and um, they made a big deal saying, "Oh, well, he's been gone for 3 years and whatever." And I don't remember what year it was that he left the WWE and decided not to resign. Um, a lot of people still want him back. And after seeing him on the show, yeah, I think he'd be a great addition back in a WWE roster or another big company like TNA. But he doesn't want that schedule. He's pretty busy. He's making movies, and he's doing this now, and so it's a great. It's just wonderful to see him again. He's still got it. Um, their match even got a "This is awesome" chant. And I know I'm hopping around the episode here, but I'm just talking about all sorts of different aspects of it. The third match that was in the middle of the card, excuse me, I skipped over it accidentally, was Son of Havoc, aka Matt Cross. Not real familiar with this guy. Apparently, he was in the last um, Tough Enough, WWE's Tough Enough, the last one. Um, I believe he was on there. He didn't win, but I believe that's who that was. And this is something I have not seen in ages. He wrestled a female. So it was a, what do you call that, intergender match, I think. Um, Sexy Star was her name. And they did a promo on her right before the match saying how the mask, she came out wearing a mask, Lucha Star, um, the mask saved her life. And it was, kind of an uplifting thing how she tries to um, help show women that they're all sexy and powerful, to be a positive influence by doing this. She's trying to help, women who are watching this. Something really unique and cool. I think that's great. Um, so yeah, the matches top to bottom, all three of them, um, really good. Just a classic slow um, match between Blue Demon Jr. and Chavo, and the Son of Havoc, aka Matt Cross versus Sexy Star. Um, oh, I would say who won. Um, Chavo tapped out, and it was um, I forget what they called the move. I apologize. But Blue Demon won. Um, Son of Havoc beat Sexy Star, but it was still a great match. Because Havoc is not uh, he's not a big guy. He really isn't. I think he's shorter than me. Um, he was about as tall. I think the ref was actually bigger than him. But nonetheless, it was a great back and forth match. You really didn't know who was going to win that one. But Havoc came off all cocky, like, I am not wrestling a woman, and just male chauvinistic. And she kicked his ass for a while. It was really good. Um, and then the main event, Johnny Mundo against Prince Puma. And man, definitely the highlight of the whole show. And so then Mundo wins. Great to see. Used his classic moves. Um, but they renamed him for the show. They call it the end of the road or end of the world. It's just, where he jumps backwards off the ropes, flips around and lands on the guy. But yeah, great to see him using all of his moves and used a couple new ones too. A reverse Spanish fly something towards the end of the match. I was like, whoa, yeah, he's still got it, man. The highlights are on YouTube. Go to the El Rey um, Network YouTube channel, and they've been putting highlights of last night's episode up all day. Little snippets of the matches and stuff. Maybe just the Prince Puma Johnny Mundo match, but man, you see how good it is. You want to watch it, really. Well, at the very end, Guado comes out, and he says something to Johnny Mundo, something to the effect of, "Oh, you really impressed me." And Johnny's like, "Hey, well, great, give me the money." And he tries to take it from him. Well, two thugs come out and beat him up, beat up Prince Puma. They both get beat up. And out comes a familiar face. Great to see him again. Ezekiel Jackson comes out, and I believe his name in the show, Lucha Underground, now is called Big Rick. So he comes out, clobbers both of them completely, and just crushes them. And he ends up getting the money. And, Guedo comes out. He's all wide-eyed, and he's like, check these guys out. I told you, and not only lucha guys are going to wrestle here, I got big guys too, and they work for me. And he says something to that effect at the end, and Ezekiel Jackson's looking strong, standing over both these guys at the end, holding up the briefcase of money, and that's how the first episode ends. So yeah, just freaking awesome first episode. It's all done in an intimate setting, and yet the production is so you almost call it over the top because it's done by such good producers. It's shot in LA, so they show, like, once in a while between things, they'll show a quick, city scan of LA at night with the lights, and it's almost like an old episode of, like, Miami, well, not Miami Vice, um, like some cop show or something like that. Um, very, very cinematic. Um, just big production, but on a little scale, a little stage, an intimate setting, a few hundred people sitting around there. It's well done. It really is. If you enjoy, the closest thing that I can compare it to is if you enjoy watching NXT or Ring of Honor, you'll love this. You will. Because it's got the high production of, like, a WWE company or better. That's right. I said or better. Uh, but in a smaller setting like a Ring of Honor, a smaller, not club, hall, whatever. It's, but you can tell this isn't a hall. It's, what do they call? Uh, oh, Dario Cueto says, "This is my temple, temple, whatever." Uh, uh, I can't get over his character. It's really something. He says, it's, "Things I love the most: courage, honor, and good old fashioned violence." Oh man, this guy is going to be very entertaining. So yeah, you got the Boss Man, Conan. The commentators are great. The wrestling guys, like I said, if you don't like the rest of it, watch it at least for the wrestling. Um, I When I started hearing about this, I heard about this almost a year ago. When the El Rey Network started, I started seeing little snippets about, oh, a new wrestling company is going to be put on this channel and it's going to be Lucha style. And I was like, oh man, it's been a long time since I've seen something, like this. And I knew with Robert Rodriguez, I knew it was going to be something special because this guy does big things. He does, whether it's his movies or whatever, the TV things he does also on there, the original specials. Um, Great. It's a great channel, top to bottom. There's old, it's a guy's channel. It does not sound chauvinistic, but there's old kung fu, the X Files. There's retro things on there, old horror movies. Day of the Dead, that whole Night of the Living Dead series I've seen on there. Um, uh, old cop, retro '70s series. Just all sorts of different things. Just a cool guys. Basically, it's what Spike TV wishes they were. It's like they started out being this cool and then they turned into crap. Well, the El Rey Network, and I know not everyone has that, but if you can find a stream of it somewhere or get the channel or whatever, I highly recommend this. And I know I'm going on and on about this, but I'm so unbelievably impressed with this first show. I really am. So by all means, like I said, if you just watch it for the wrestling, I purposely, the point I was going to make, when I heard that these episodes were being shot and that the wrestling was, like the tapings, that's the word I'm looking for, the tapings, like when they do the NXT tapings or the SmackDown tapings, when they were doing the tapings for the show, I specifically avoided the spoilers, specifically because I did not want to know anything about it. I wanted, because I felt it was that special, you know? So if you have heard about it, if you have heard the spoilers, if you did read them a month ago when that happened or whenever it was, 2 months ago, um, back in September now, because now when you see this, it is the end of October, pretty much. It's Happy Halloween, guys. um, if you did read them, fine, whatever. But still, just give it a chance, really, seriously. Go check it out. It's good shit. And it's only 1 hour. So now wrestling fans have the choice of a 3 hour Monday or a 3 hour Wednesday. 3 hour Wednesday? Jason, what are you talking about? Because this is on at 7, and um, from 8 until 10 is Impact. Well, for however long Impact is on. Sorry. It's true. Because we haven't heard nothing yet. Hopefully we will. I did hear a rumor that we're supposed to hear something by the end of this week, so it's almost the end of the week. Um, so yeah, happy Halloween, and hope you guys all have a safe weekend. And yeah, go check out Lucha Underground. Thanks for watching, guys.